Episode 9. How to get
Oh, yeah.
clients.
Clients.
Literally just about to start the episode and Mitch is taking photos of the monitor. Done? I want to talk about getting clients, and I realise that this could be a 20-hour episode.
And the rest.
And there is obviously, many parts of the journey and there'd be different advice, wouldn't there, right? But as a lot of our content has been aimed at maybe people coming through wanting to get into it, I guess we could start with, like, say you're brand new, right? You've got a camera, you want to get some clients. What would your first bit of advice be?
Oh, see, I think we might have said this before, but like literally just get yourself out there. Post, shoot and post, shoot and post.
Did we say that on another episode? I think we can repeat ourselves a bit because you might not have seen it.
Yeah, no, it's I just shoot and post. Just get it out there. Shoot anything,
Shoot
and everything.
what?
Anything. Oh, to be fair, realistically, you want to start off with something you're interested in, because then you're gonna have passion and be passionate about what you're shooting. You want it to be as good as it can be for what your skill level is, what your equipment level is, or whatever you want. I think just get it out there, because people generally, they're going to be your friends, obviously, because initially that's what it's going to be. It's probably going to be posted on your personal Instagram, personal Facebook, whatever you want to be, and then people will start noticing, oh, how are you getting on with your drone? That's what it was like.
I think we did actually we did talk about this in one of the earlier episodes. But essentially, we'll just quickly go over that again, is that, like Mitch says, you shoot and you post. So what he means by that is, obviously, you go shoot some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You set up some social media accounts. Oh my God.
It's there.
Put my teeth back in. So you create some social media accounts and go from there. And like we said before, you want to get to the point where people know what you're doing, right? That's a big thing. If you don't shout about it, you might get a little bit spammy. Who cares? Those that support you won't care.
Yeah.
Those that are moaning also aren't important. So just get on, do your thing. And you want to get to the point where, obviously, people are talking about, oh, Gav's doing video, Mitch is doing video, maybe I should hit him up. And then obviously you get those first initial clients. But once you start getting some clients, how do you progress it to that next level of, developing relationships with those clients, finding new ones? What would your advice be, Mitchell?
There's a lot that you can do, but what I feel has worked for me, and it's something that I feel I want to focus on, and well, hopefully do focus on, is the customer service side of things, because obviously it's all well and good developing, delivering the video that they've asked for, and it's great. But there's also another side to that, is that customer service, that journey that they have with you, literally from the very offset of the communication, when they first make an initial inquiry, all the way through to the delivery and how that's then dealt with. You want to kind of make that as seamless as possible. You want to be as open and as willing, obviously within, what works best for you kind of thing, but you want to just make sure that you're asking the right questions and developing the journey with them. Obviously you want to try and have good response times to questions, emails. Obviously it does go back to the point of what we had in a previous episode where we discussed being available at the right times, so that you have that better work-life balance. But also, if it is just a little message that's just to go, oh yeah, actually this, or yeah, I've actually done that, or blah blah blah, if you're in a position to do so, it does have a better experience. Because for me anyway, when I've got something on my mind and I want an answer, to be made to wait to the next day or 2 days or something is a bit of a pain, and that can taint a relationship. Obviously, it's down to me to do that. But I think if you have good communication skills with them, kind of do what they ask, I think that can really make them go, oh, right then, he's there for me on this journey to create the video that they've got in their mind. Because for some people and some companies, the video is their little baby, isn't it, really? So you want to nurture that as well, and nurture their ideas. And that's how I find has made me have a good relationship, even friendships with some clients, just because I show an interest and I want to make it as seamless for them. Because when, for instance, you order a product and it gets delayed by a day, you're a bit like,
Yeah.
product
Bad customer
sucks.
service.
Yeah, but but it's and then if you can then try and make sure that that doesn't happen or whatever, that to me has a great experience for the client. Like, what about you? Have you had
I
any
think
tips
going
and
on the
tricks?
communication, you think like the amount of clients that say to me, "Oh, you're really quick on email. I love that you're quick on email." And I've apologized for like taking 24 hours, and they're like, "No, this is like people take days to get
Yeah,
back on
yeah,
emails."
yeah,
And that's such a simple thing to
yeah.
do. I understand we're all busy, but if you can attack your emails, you don't have to do them as soon as they come in.
Mm-hmm.
You can set a time at 4 p.m.
Yeah,
or 5 p.m. before they leave the office to reply to all your emails. They love that. Like you say, if they're like, is this possible? They want to find out if you can do something, and you get back to them same day. That offers so much value to them, and they respect you more. I
mm,
find that that's such a massive thing.
yeah.
Just getting back to people quickly, and that is not rocket science.
Yeah, yeah. One thing I will say as well is if you're not able to do that for any reason, don't beat yourself up over it. You want to try and have it as a general rule for you that you try to stick to. Inevitably, that's not going to be the case,
Yeah,
is it?
sometimes
You're going to be
yeah.
busy, but if you can have an aim to be, you try and provide that service to them so you get back to them, be on the ball with them, be interested in what's going on. Yeah, sometimes it won't happen, but
Yeah,
try
I
your
think
best.
another thing as well, and I may have mentioned this on another episode, is just over delivering a little bit.
Yeah, that's good.
So I think one of my earlier clients, Scott Baker Properties, the HMO platform, they had me in to do a video of an event, right? So I was just literally there for the day, filming a snapshot of the event. There was no mention of any photography or any micro content from that. So I turned up. I was like, "Well, do you need any photos?" And they're like, "Well, yeah." So I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't do a full album, but in between filming some of the event, I just took a few photos and I edited them on site because it wasn't something that needed to be filmed all day. This was a snapshot, so I'm in and out of little moments throughout the day, and they loved that. They were buzzing. They even had some same day content off those photos and little micro bits of content. So, over delivering is a massive one. Good
Hmm.
communication, and just generally being interested in what they're doing. Sometimes, like that instance, they wanted one thing. It's like, well, we could do a little bit more here, and so they kind of were a little bit taken back by that. So just taking an interest, over delivering, and obviously good communication is a massive trio of things you can do going
Yeah.
forward. Yeah.
Another thing that I've come to realise over time is managing expectations as well.
Yeah.
Now, it sounds a little weird where you kind of think it in how's that going to keep relationships and whatnot, or develop relationships with your clients. There's nothing worse than assuming and something's going to happen and then it not happening. Now, obviously, you should never assume really,
Mm.
but you indirectly then have that reflect on that or that person. So for instance, if someone thinks I'm going to be able to deliver something blah blah blah, and then I can't for any reason, then it's gonna taint like their impression of me, isn't it really? So it's kind of listening to what they want within a project, or what they expect from a budget or a project or time or however you want to do it, and setting that in the best way possible, their expectations relatively quickly. Then at least they're not going all the way down the line, paying all the money and going, well, where's I expected more from this kind of thing, because then they'll be going, oh well, that person didn't deliver. But that's because their assumption or their expectation is different to what is actually possible. And I think if you kind of set those boundaries and expectations early with what they're able to do, you're able to develop it.
How would you expect? How would you set those expectations?
To be honest with you, just be open and honest about what's actually
What, just
achievable.
communicating email, or what about contracts?
Yeah, well, I would. So there's two ways to look at that. How I would do is
Mm.
obviously during communications, those initial calls or those initial quoting conversations that you have, you set the expectations. However, it is always good, like you said, to then have them implemented into contracts, or at least an email, so it's documented somewhere down the line that can be referred
Yeah.
to, that you've set those standards within a project or job or anything
So
like that.
like expectations of like delivery
Yeah,
times,
yeah,
what
yeah,
deliverables,
yeah,
obviously costs
yeah,
is the
yeah, of
big
course,
one.
yeah,
But we'll get onto that another time,
yeah,
costing
yeah.
and pricing. I guess, just being made aware that anything outside of that, would be additional costs.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It,
think, there's many times where, and this may be to my detriment, my fault if the word, that they expect, oh, we can have that edit tomorrow. Oh, can you work on that over the weekend, which you had recently? And it's like, well, no, I've got other workflows. But yeah, like you're right. If for me, a good example is, I don't like lateness, as you've discovered. I don't like it when people are late. Not late on projects, but if someone says they're going to be at mine for a certain time and they're not, then I get really antsy with that. Hey, Mitch.
10 minutes is okay.
10 minutes is Mitch's standard. Like, literally, he gets like, yeah, we need you here for 8:30. I'll tell him 20 past. But then he's cottoned on to that, and he's like, still 10 minutes late. It'd be like 8:40. Anyway, no, but what I'm getting at is, like, if someone's going to be late and they say, sorry, I'm running 5 minutes late, which you do, I'm okay then, because my expectations are met. I know that you're going to be running 5 minutes late. So I think it's the same for any projects we're doing with clients. If they have the expectations, then you're not going to be, butting heads.
Yeah. For me, I've found is a big one, especially with new clients that don't understand the new clients to video potential or to any kind of production in that way, is they will go, oh, look at that video. Look at that, car commercial for Range Rover. Yeah, wicked. Can we do something like that?
Yeah.
Well, potentially.
How much you got?
How much? Oh, what? You need more than one person to do that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's an expectation there. And you need to set that early so they kind of understand, right then, what is possible within their budget, within the level of our kind of business, our production, and go from there.
And I think it's down to us to educate them as well.
Exactly that.
Because I had someone just reminded me, send me a video, and it was a car commercial. I was like, can you do anything like this? And I opened the link and I watched it, and it's a full CGI VFXing. This car's going, I remember it going down at some rough terrain, and there's dinosaurs like racing alongside it, tearing up the ground. And I'm like, yeah, I don't think that's within the scope of budget.
Yeah.
But they just don't know. It's down to us to educate. So I think that leans back to just educating them, giving them that expectation is just a good way for them to like respect you and, again, build on that relationship.
Yeah, because if you also, one thing I just want to mention is if you do then try to over deliver to that extent and don't,
you fall short.
You fall short, then like, well, well, he didn't deliver, he's not very good. You probably are good, it's just you're not setting expectations, and then at least they know what's
that's where over deliver, not under deliver, right?
Yeah, is that what I said?
No. Yeah, you were right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what I said. Over deliver, not under deliver.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
I guess that about wraps it up for today. But as ever, usual sign off. We'd love to hear from you guys. How do you build relationships with clients? How do you nurture those to become long-term collaborations? And if you could let us know in the comments, that'd be awesome. And we'll see you next week.